Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be filming a Q&A and I'm very excited about this. It's my first ever Q&A on my channel as I've been pregnant for the last few months. I haven't done one of these in a pretty long time, so I'm very excited to get to all of your questions, and hopefully we'll get to do one more of these just before I give birth in a couple of months. So I asked you guys to send me in your questions on my Instagram. That is where I take all questions for Q&As. Make sure that you're following me there if you're not already. It's at AnnieJaffrey, and you guys sent in a lot of questions, as you can see here. So we have a lot to chat about. I of course won't be able to answer all of them, but I will do my best and try to get to as many as I can. And then yeah, hopefully I'll get to do another one of these in a couple of months just before the baby comes. I just love documenting as much of this journey and this experience as possible. And there are a few non-pregnancy related questions in here too. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit of everything. Okay, so let's see. The first question is, when are you guys going on Babymoon? And there was a few other like Babymoon related questions. So yes, we do have a Babymoon planned and we're super excited about it. We're going in 2.5 weeks and we're going to Ibiza. Some of you might know that Ibiza is a very special place for us. That is where we met. We got married in Ibiza, and we just thought it would be such a special thing to have our Babymoon there as well. It's a nice, calm and relaxed part of Ibiza, so it's not like the crazy going out scene or anything like that. It's a very like calm and natural and hopefully relaxing place. And yeah, it's kind of nice. Like it's like a full circle moment to also have our Babymoon there. Again, we met there, we got married there, so yeah, we're very excited about that. And again, we leave in 2.5 weeks. Okay, the next question is how to handle emotions during pregnancy due to hormone changes. I think definitely supporting your body through this experience as much as possible. So really taking care of yourself. For me, I love my little small daily habits like going for walks, making sure I stay hydrated, sleeping well, having lots of nourishing and healthy foods in my diet. All of those things are really supportive for the body as it's going through those changes. So it's kind of like you want to just nurture and care for yourself so that your body can do what it's meant to do with as little stress as possible. So not putting additional stress on yourself. I think for me that's something that's really helped. And also if you just think about hormones in general, whether you are pregnant or not, like the things that are really supportive for our body when it comes to hormone health specifically is sleep and nutrition. So making sure that you've got really good healthy fats in your diet like avocados, good omegas, DHA, you know, things from like salmon and fish and avocados and nuts and seeds and things like that. I think all of those things are really supportive for hormone health in general. And then of course sleep. I love sleep so much, and sleep is such an important thing for when it comes to regulating our hormones, producing hormones. So I think just really paying attention to lifestyle factors, that's a huge part. And then also not feeling like you're alone. So really talking to your partner, to your family, to your friends if you're feeling low. Pregnancy is a lot. Your body's going through so many changes, and not just that, but it's also the anticipation of the future and knowing things are going to change. Definitely a lot for the positive and for the better. And you know, I'm so excited to meet our baby girl and to have a family and to have future kids one day, but still at the same time, like it's a lot to digest and to think about. So I think as with anything, you know, talking to somebody, communicating, not feeling like you're alone, talking to your partner, sharing what's going on with your family or even with a professional like with a therapist, even journaling and doing self-soothing exercises like that, really just taking care of yourself. And then also I found something else that has been really helpful is just preparing for the exciting things like getting the nursery organized, starting a baby book and looking at clothes and just like organizing myself, getting the apartment ready, you know, putting your focus and attention on things that make you feel excited and happy and just bringing more of that energy in so you can kind of calm the nerves and the anxiety that might come with pregnancy hormones, with thinking about the future, with, you know, your body going through so many changes, and just being really kind to yourself as well. I definitely think during pregnancy specifically, it's so important to be more gentle with yourself, really kind to yourself, just really pamper yourself, go to bed early, gentle walks, gentle stretching, just focusing on things that make you feel good, make make you feel happy. I think all of that really helps with all of the fluctuations and hormone changes, body changes, and everything that you go through during pregnancy. And also just remembering what a miracle it is, and in a few months you're gonna meet your baby. Like, how incredible is that? Okay, the next question is, how do you prepare for birth, and are you afraid of it? So I've been doing a few birth prep courses. I'm actually doing 2 different ones. One is from Bridget Taylor. It's called Built to Birth. I've mentioned her in a few of my previous videos. She also recommended doing hypnobirthing, and I found a course called The Positive Birth Company. They're also on YouTube. So I'm doing a little bit of hypnobirthing as well. Just during the day, I've downloaded those audio tracks and I listen to them. They're like little mini meditations. For me, I think just the mental and mind aspect of birth is such a huge thing, and I think it's like the driving force. How you feel, how your body feels, how you manage with surges or waves, which is another way of saying like contractions and the pain. I do want to do a full video on just this topic alone, how I'm preparing for birth, so I will leave more details for that video. But I definitely do think that getting prepared for it, for me anyway, is a really important part. Like even just little things like making sure the nursery is done and that we've got our home organized and that I have a few things planned like for postpartum and things like that, so that I can also take care of myself after giving birth. All of that is really important for me and makes me feel more prepared and calm and ready, so that I can have as little on my plate as possible, so that I can just take a lot of these things off my plate now and have them prepared, because I know obviously when the baby comes, that is going to be my priority, and I don't want to have to be thinking about like getting myself certain things or getting the baby certain things. Like I just want everything to be done. But I will talk about all of that in more detail in an upcoming video that I will be doing in a few weeks. Okay, the next question is, how much weight have you gained? You look great. Thank you so much. The last time I was at the doctor's was last week, which I was then 29 weeks because I'm 30 weeks today, and I've gained a total of about 9 kilos, and baby girl is around 1.5 kilos right now. So there's a lot of excess like water weight, blood weight, obviously the placenta and all the extra fluid and all of that. I don't feel heavy at this point. Like my body has just really dealt well with the extra weight, so like my knees don't hurt, my hips don't hurt. I don't have any like swollen ankles or feet yet. Maybe that will come later on in the pregnancy, maybe just before I give birth. I'll keep you posted. But so far I feel like my body has adjusted really well to the extra weight, and I have also continued with moving my body and staying active. I love to go for my walks. I do strength training a couple of times per week, which I also think has really helped with the extra weight. So like making sure that my legs stay strong and toned, my arms and my back as well. I think that's really important to avoid lower back pain, just to make sure that you're still like strengthening and toning the muscles in your body so that you can still have good posture and your body feels like it has the strength to carry around the extra weight without feeling like too achy and painful. This is also another topic that I would love to get more into detail with in another video, just like the topic of workouts and staying healthy and fit while pregnant. So stay tuned for that. Okay, the next question is, how do you keep everything so clean and neat at all times? Obviously everything is not super clean and neat all of the time. Like the apartment definitely does get messier. Not so much our living and dining room, what you see right now, because I feel like this is pretty minimal anyway. We don't really have like too many things or too much clutter in this room, but definitely like our wardrobe, office, those areas that are like high traffic areas that we use a lot, they get more messy. But I think just generally speaking, I wouldn't say I'm a minimalist, but I definitely enjoy having fewer things. Like I don't love to collect and hold on to things for years and years. I have a tendency to do that with certain things, but I have like a memory box where I keep like certain cards and special things, little souvenirs, and maybe things that people have given me over the years that are are just very sentimental, but I keep them all in a box. But definitely having less things, decluttering, donating what you don't need, and throwing away things that you can't donate that are just like old, keeping things more minimal and curated and thoughtful. I think that that really helps in the long run for sure. The next question is just wondering if your baby girl will be your parents' first grandchild. Yes, it will be. I am the first to have a child. So needless to say, they are so excited and just over the moon to meet their granddaughter. The next question is, are you planning on having a natural birth? In an ideal world, I would so love to have a natural birth just to experience the whole thing. I can just imagine that it's such a crazy and beautiful and emotional and all of the feelings all at once. And I would love to be there fully to experience every single thing. But with that said, I'm also open to pain medications or an epidural if I just get to the point where I'm not able to manage the waves, the pain, I'm trying not to say pain, the surges and all of that. I would really love to be able to do all of that, and I'm preparing myself for that as much as I can. But at the end of the day, it's something that's completely unknown to me. I've obviously never done it before, so I'm keeping an open mind, and at the end of the day, the baby's gonna come out however the baby's gonna come out. Again, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that the baby is safe and healthy, and that I'm safe and healthy. So whatever we need to do to make that happen and to make sure that I'm relaxed and that I can open and dilate and everything can run smoothly, like that is the main priority. But yeah, I'm definitely prepping as much as I can, and just trying to get like my mindset and my body ready so that it can do it in the most comfortable and smooth way possible. Okay, the next question is, on holiday, how do you relax your routine a little? I'm feeling so guilty on holiday, on vacation. I honestly love both. Like, I love being home and having my routines and my healthy things, but I also love to travel and go on vacation and just be away from home and completely switch that up. And of course, there are like the positives and sometimes the drawbacks of that too. But for me, I know that it's not long term, you know, it's maybe just for a week or for 10 days or for a weekend, and I'm completely chilled and relaxed about that. I think it's all about what you do in the long term, like those small little things that you do over days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks and years and months. That's what really has an impact on your body in the long term. So don't feel like, you know, if you have lots of croissants and desserts and richer foods like that for a week or so, that it's going to have any effect on you long term. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but for me personally, it doesn't, and I'm so happy to have that balance. I even think it's important to just challenge your body sometimes with different foods that you're not eating on the regular. And I also feel like on vacation, you're just generally a lot more relaxed and you're having a lot of fun, hopefully. And I think all of that really has a big effect on how you digest and metabolize food as well. So just not being too like picky. I think a lot of people would be surprised. Like at home, I love to do my green smoothies. You guys know that. But on vacation, I showed this in my vlogs as well. Like I love to have croissants at breakfast. We indulge in desserts like every single night. I love to have like breads and things like that, sandwiches, whatever. You know, it's just not the same when you're at home and when you have access to your own fridge in the supermarket, and that's fine. Obviously, it also comes down to how you feel. I do notice that after a few days of eating like that, like my digestion is not as good. Maybe my skin starts to break out a little bit more. Maybe I'm not sleeping as deep, but that's okay. It's all a balance. And I know as soon as I get home, I'm really excited about getting back into my healthy routine and my healthy little habits. With that as well, I do still love to stay active when I am traveling or when I'm away. Just walking, I feel like when we travel, we just tend to walk more, like exploring a new city, you know, walking to dinners, or even just walking through the airport and things like that. I feel like you can always find little ways to get in some movement. Just moving your body in a gentle way makes you feel so good. It's so good for your digestive health, but also just for your mental health as well, so that you can feel really good as you are on vacation. Because the point is that you're supposed to enjoy your time, so it's not like you just throw everything out the window, that, you know, all of your tools that you know make you feel really good. So just knowing what those are to you and finding a good balance with that, I think that is really important. Okay, the next question is, do you get Botox/fillers during pregnancy? No. The last time that I had any Botox or fillers was actually in the beginning of 2021. It's almost like a year and a half ago, so I have not had anything done since then. And Botox and fillers for me, Botox lasts like 3 months for me, and the filler will last like maybe 6 months or so. The thing is, like, the healthier of a lifestyle you live, like the more water you drink, the more you exercise, like the better foods you eat, the quicker your body actually just gets rid of all of that stuff. But yeah, in the past, if you guys have not seen my like skincare related videos, I do love to do a little bit of Botox here just between my brows to prevent this frown line from forming. Just a little bit right here. It's called your glabella lines. I'll pop in a picture here so you guys can see a clear view. I really loved to do that a couple of times per year in the past, and then I love to do a little bit of filler in my lips. But yeah, right now there is nothing at all in my lips, so this is what they look like without. Still embracing it, but I do love like just the little extra oomph that it gives your lips. Maybe if I wasn't pregnant, I would have gone and done a little touch-up, but yeah, that's not at all something that I'm thinking about right now, obviously because I'm growing a baby and we want to be as healthy and least toxic as possible. Next question is, what is your favorite thing about being pregnant? There are definitely a lot of things that I love about being pregnant, but one of the main things that comes to mind is just being able to connect with the baby already, like even before she's here. Literally from the moment that I found out I was pregnant, when I saw that positive pregnancy test, I felt her presence. I felt her little body, her little soul, and I just feel like we already have such a good connection and bond. It just makes me cry as I think about it, like brings tears to my eyes. Just knowing that you're creating a human, like half of it is you, half of it is your partner that you love, but at the same time she's completely her own person as well. Like that just blows my mind. I am so in awe of the whole experience of what my body is doing right now. Just going to the scans and like feeling her kick and move around, it's just the most magical thing. So yeah, I would say that's definitely my favorite. Okay, a lot of you guys are asking about names and if we've chosen a name yet. Baby name reveal. Yes, we do have a name. It's so beautiful, it's so cute, and she's gonna have 2 names, well, like a first and second name. And yeah, since we've decided on it, we call her by her name, and when we speak to her, we say her name. More so Mo, actually, because I do call her by her name, but I also have like cute little nicknames for her and like sweet things that I call her that are not necessarily like her name. But yeah, it does feel really good to have a name picked out for sure. The next question is, how do you plan to keep up with your routines when the baby arrives? You look lovely. Thank you so much. So this is something that I've obviously thought about, and I think it's so hard to say like right now, because I feel like when you're in the moment, you figure out your ways and your new routines and your new strategies and new ways to balance things. Because now, obviously, like I have X amount on my plate and I can figure out like how I can get everything done. But I just feel really open and flexible and ready for the change and ready for the challenge and all of the new things. I do think though it's really important to still find time to take care of yourself so that you can fill up your own cup and that you can be the best mom and the best partner and still be able to do all of the things. So I'm not gonna like completely throw away all of the things that I know make me feel really good, but you know, she's gonna be part of it. Like it's not, I don't think I'm gonna completely separate the two. Like if I go for my walks, she's gonna be there with me, like making healthy food. And I think with time you learn what obviously the baby needs, what you need, what your partner needs, like how you can balance everything, how your partner can help you, you know, having somebody help us for a couple of hours during the day if that's what we need. Like I'm open to it, and I'm just really ready for the change, like mentally as well. So I think that is a huge thing, like not expecting obviously that everything is going to be the same as it was before the baby. I'm just more excited than anything to actually meet our baby girl. So I'm not even really worried about like routines and stuff like that. I know that they're just so small for such a short time, and then they grow up and they go from stage to stage, and then sooner than you know it, they're teenagers and life is just completely different again. So I just want to be as present with my babies as possible and just enjoy the moment and not feel like I have to cling to something that was my old self, you know? I'm gonna be like a newer version of myself every day and with every experience, and I'm super happy and I'm super ready to embrace all of that while still taking care of myself, because that is like the foundation. The next question is, are you working on a new product for Nourished 3? Yes, we have our moisturizer, which is launching in a month and a half, like 2 months. So we are preparing and gearing up for all of that. It just happens to be around the same time that we are giving birth, or that I'm giving birth. But we're trying to get everything like prepped and planned and organized for the launch so that everything will go hopefully super smooth with the birth of our baby as well. And then alongside of the moisturizer, we also have 2 more products that we're working on that will hopefully be launching towards the end of the year, and they are so good. So definitely stay tuned. You can follow us on our social media at Nourished3. We post lots of updates and just really great like informational content for skincare, wellness, and all of that on our Instagrams. The next question is tips for waking up early. Definitely going to bed early, maybe that's a given, but having a good nighttime routine, I think that's so important, so that you can actually get that really good quality sleep, so that when you wake up in the morning early, you feel refreshed and you feel rejuvenated and energized, and not like, oh, I just want to sleep like a little bit more. So definitely making sure that you have a good wind down routine in the evening, that you keep the lights dimmed, maybe that you have like a calming shower or a calming bath, not watching anything that's too stressful or that produces too much adrenaline, like TV shows or movies that are more like thriller based or scary or just like adrenaline rushing, or even just like dramatic. Like I love to watch something that's super calming. You guys probably know one of my favorites is Gilmore Girls. I've been watching that show now for probably like 9 months, maybe a little bit more than 9 months. It's 7 seasons long. It's such a feel-good show. It's so relaxing, and I'll stay on one episode for like a week because I just watched like maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes of it, and then I'm super chilled. I doze off to sleep, I turn the TV off, and I go to bed. But it could also be reading a book, just doing something really calming. Also, I would say like a tip for waking up early is to know what you're actually gonna do when you wake up, so that when you wake up, you already have something to look forward to. You know that you're gonna go and have a warm water with lemon or matcha, or you're gonna go for a walk or have a nice shower or do your skincare routine, a little bit of stretching, whatever it is that you like to do, and just kind of like tell yourself that is what you're gonna do now, if it's not something that you're already thinking about. And for me, that genuinely gets me excited, and I really look forward to it, and that helps me to wake up earlier, get out of bed, and just get my day started. Okay, the next question is, what's been the hardest or most challenging thing while being pregnant? One of the things that comes to mind is definitely all of like the opinions and the advice and the stories and the things you never asked for. Like lots of parents, you know, saying like, oh, just wait until like you're gonna see what happens when ... enjoy this time now, because when baby comes it's gonna be blah blah blah. Or when I was pregnant, like I had these really bad symptoms, and it kind of like puts, you know, stories in your mind, or really traumatic or fearful stories about birth and postpartum and all of that. Like just lots of things that I feel like as a pregnant woman, like you didn't ask for. And I think obviously like they come from a good place and they just want to share their experiences, but also I think it's super important to be mindful of, like, a pregnant woman is already going through a lot, so they probably don't want to hear like all of the negative and fearful things that might have happened in another person's life, like to add to their own thoughts, and maybe some things that they never even thought about all of a sudden now they're thinking about like, whoa, is that gonna happen to me? And it's just like a bit negative. Also kind of on the same topic, I remember in the very early stages of my pregnancy, it can be such a sensitive time for so many women. Like when they just found out that they're pregnant, you still don't know if everything's gonna be all right, and there's a lot of changes going on in your body, and having a lot of people assume that you're pregnant before someone is ready to share it on their own. I think that is like, it's such a private and special time for that person, and when they are ready to share it, they will share. I remember getting so many messages and comments about that, and it's sweet. Like I know that those people are coming from a good place, like maybe they're just genuinely excited, which I totally embrace, but also at the same time, it's like you can't share it until a certain point. And also with that, you never know what somebody is going through. Maybe somebody has been trying to get pregnant for a long time, and maybe they have been pregnant, maybe they've lost the pregnancy. It's just such a sensitive time and topic, and sometimes I felt that was a little bit difficult to like manage. I wanted to share it and be super excited with everyone, but it's also such a special and intimate journey that like you and your partner are going through, so you have to find that like good balance. Okay, the next question is, since you work with your husband, do you guys ever argue, or are you that zen now? We're definitely not zen all of the time. We definitely have our discussions and our conflicts, and not just like with business, like of course with work, that's one thing, but also just in general in life. But I think that that is completely normal with any relationship. It's just about still remaining respectful and calm and mindful of yourself, and that the person stays mindful of themselves. We're definitely not completely zen all the time. Like I wish we were, because that is like that's like where I resort to, that's like my default. But obviously like life is tricky sometimes, and I do think communication is really important, and not to keep things inside. And when you do communicate and you do have like open conversations, like there are obviously things that can come up, and it's really important to stay in that, to communicate and talk, so you can sort things out and learn and grow and move on to even better versions of yourself and have an even better version of your relationship. But we have been together now for like almost 6 years, so we've definitely learned a lot about each other. We've really come into our own roles as well when it comes to running the business. He focuses on what he's really good at and what he enjoys, and I focus on what I'm really good at and what my talents are, what I can bring to the table, and we like come together as a team and work like that. So I don't try to get too much involved in what he's doing, he doesn't try to get too involved in what I'm doing, and at the end of the day, we're building, creating something that we're both super passionate about, and that I'm genuinely so grateful for. It's been a dream of mine for so many years, and to see it actually come to fruition and like have its own legs now and its own little life, like that makes me so happy. It makes us happy as well that we can have something to work on together, and that it's our own thing, fully funded by us, fully managed and created by us, and that is super special. So I think we try to focus on that. Like when things get a bit wild, we try to like bring it back to what's important, recenter ourselves, and continue. Okay, the next question is, how do you stay so consistent and motivated at all times? I need your positive energy in my life. Thank you so much. For me, it really comes down to wanting to feel my best, because I know when I feel good, I do good, I can create good things, I can have a positive impact in this world, I can contribute, and all of that like comes back. So that again makes me feel good, then I can do even more good, and so on and so on. I do have lots of videos on my channel where I go more into this. There's one that comes to mind in particular, which I will have linked down below. But in that video, I talk a lot about prioritizing what is actually important in your life, so that you don't feel like you need to do everything that everyone else is doing because everyone else is doing that. Like, no. Know what it is that you want, focus on that, plan your life and organize your life around that, so that you are putting your energy and your resources into something that is actually fulfilling in your life, and that you're not like spending so much time like chasing after the Joneses, or not chasing the Joneses, is it comparing yourself to the Joneses, or doing what everyone else is doing. Like, you stay in your own lane, you know what makes you happy, you have your toolbox of good things that make you feel good, that you can rely on, and just knowing the importance of prioritizing that, and everything else will stem from that. Your work, your relationships, like your family life. For me, that is just the most important thing, and the most motivating thing is, again, just wanting to live the best life that I can, because literally we're gonna be dead in a few years. Like, I know for lots of people that thought is kind of like unsettling, but for me it's super motivating to know that I'm not going to be here forever, and why not live the best life that I can and have the most fun, and not be afraid, and put myself out there and do the things that I want to do, because at the end of the day, like, we just have one life, and when we feel good, I feel like that is really just like the fire in our butts to do something good with our lives. And also, like, not overwhelming yourself. Like, the things that I do are manageable and they are fun for me. I look forward to them. I don't set like insane goals for myself. Like, yes, I like to set goals and then like to just a little bit more than that, but I'm not like putting so much pressure on myself where I feel like overwhelmed and just throw everything like in the sky, like forget it, I can't, I'm done. Like, I don't put that much pressure on myself, but still I have goals for myself, if that makes sense. So just finding that good balance. With that, I'm going to wrap up this Q&A. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. A lot of these questions though have given me inspiration for different things to talk about in upcoming vlogs and other videos, so definitely stay tuned for that. I do also have a Q&A page on my Instagram, on one of my highlights, where you can go and see lots of other questions. So if you want to read more questions, some pregnancy related questions as well, then definitely check out my Instagram highlights for that. Yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to know, just leave me a comment down below, and I always read through those, and I include lots of the comments and suggestions and questions that you guys have in future videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. Make sure to check the description box as well for links of other videos that I maybe mentioned. All my necklaces and jewelry, my earrings, all of that will be linked down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.